All right, testing 1 2 3. Audio testing 1 2 3. Audio testing 1 2 3. Unos, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, cinco, seis. All right, testing 1 2 3. Okay, sounds good to me. All right. Unos, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, cinco, seis. Okay, dangers in AI. For sure, huge topic. No doubt. I mean, like, look, man. Of course, there's ethical stuff and all that, but I mean, okay. And I was thinking, look, AI as companion. I think if LLMs are this good now, it's going to be shocking how good they will be in a few years, okay? And I think the current model good enough to trigger empathetic response, meaning mirror neurons, yes, feelings of attachment, love. Not love. Love is weird. Attachment, connection, being understood, being seen. The very same currency way social networks profit. You go on Facebook because you want to be seen. Sorry for the typing. I can't. I just use it as a whatever exercise. I'm just gonna use it as that. Pardon the typing. So like even like look at the way autocorrect works, right? It's like it's a AI, right? If I type this is what I try to type. I mean, there's noise, your mistakes, but the intention is clear. Yeah. So it's one of those types of models that are just amazing. Like the AI detects your intent, and like a way a human would. This is crazy. But if you make too many mistakes, yeah, then it can't. It will try to guess. So like that's crazy because think about it. The algorithms behind AI are literally mimicking the way your brain works. It's almost a one-to-one mapping. It's not like an approximation. It's almost like a one-to-one mapping. It's how when you look at how you train an AI and what makes it work, what doesn't make it work, how it can collapse. It's crazy. It sounds like a human is there. It's a sentient being, but doesn't have self-consciousness. Like, look, when I heard about this in the past, oh, that's fucking dumb science fiction. But what I've seen it do in Xcode is straight up magic. It's straight. I mean, yeah, okay. In 20 years, we'll be like, this is not magic. Everyone knows it. But I mean, like, look, think as you're back in like the old days, and you like see electricity for the first time. That's magic, right? I mean, watch that movie, this Prestige. You can sense it. Like you've never seen it before. It's real magic, right? It's a cool theme with the magician, the twin magicians, and electricity being the real. They call it wizardry. There's semantics here, but I have literally learned like about honestly, I'm not joking. Almost a university's worth. Oh no, I'm exaggerating. Let's put it this way, like, okay, better to frame it as what does it provide and what becomes rare? What becomes actually the unique thing that humans bring to the table? Because if what you're doing and what it is you're looking at is basically can be encoded easily in like 20 gigs of VRAM, then you got to question whether or not it's actually like where's the value in it, right? I mean, I don't want to put it that way, but like you can see it in many ways. One way you can see is AI is going to strip away the mundane and give literally what Red Bull is advertising. It will give your mind wings. I'm not joking or exaggerating. Red Bull is just sugar and caffeine, and that's shitty for you. AI, as far as the initial implications, is not bad for you, but it could be. It could disrupt all of society. And I'm not one to make outlandish claims. I hate that stuff. I'm not telling anybody anything here. I'm just saying that this is the most significant change in society since, like, I think this surpasses the internet. Well, no, without the internet, nothing goes forward. Internet's like an inevitable thing. It's, like I said, it's on the same ranking as the internet and the invention of the computer. But those are not going to be as significant in size and scope. They're significant because without those events, nothing goes forward. They're like roadblocks. But computer comes out, it's got productivity usages. Internet comes out, you've got like in non-mainstream channels, this intercommunication is just absolutely intoxicating. Then the smartphone comes out. Now everyone's got access to the internet. Really, what I look at smartphones as the everyone's got the internet now. Everyone's on the net, right? Before smartphone, because there's a barrier to entry with the PC. Well, I mean, like but by virtue of the smartphone being like a complete window to the internet, it was shocking to hear my friend said, you know, I don't really care about a smartphone because I don't really go out and I use my computer a lot, and I much prefer the interface of a computer. It's like portaling yourself. At the portal you have to the internet is like a huge door, as opposed to a small window. You're like wired in, quote unquote, way more on a computer, way more, good or bad, not an issue, just way more. Oh man, it's magic. You can make the AI in Xcode literally do magic for you. But I've experienced, I've done it. You can also get into a fight with it. I'm not joking. The domain space of this is not a joke. It's real. It has real constraints. It's like a sports game. You don't just go to a tennis match and say, if I swing for the fences every time I'm going to blast the ball. I'm like, there's no point in playing because I'm using the super racket. Not like that. You still need to train. The top tier people are still going to be well skilled, very well skilled. In fact, I think the separation is even more. You can't hack it anymore. That's what it is. The AI makes so it's hard to fake it till you make it. Honestly, it separates the big boys from the little kids. The big boy, the boys from the men, whatever. It will ferret out. It will bring out the hidden talent in like some really weird like favela in Brazil because now they're enabled. But it will also push down the fakers who've been living their good life in high society just because of position. It will remove them, I think, from position. Honestly, it's disruptive, this tech. If you don't have anything to contribute to society, there's no reason why you should be living in a lavish house, right? Honestly, I mean, like, it's weird, right, to say it, but that's how it is, right? I mean, in a good society, people who actually contribute to the well-being of it should get rewarded more. That's how it would work usually. And AI will only clarify it. It will not unfair it. It will clarify it. And like you might even see like because if all this labor work is done through AI, maybe the currency shift will move. Okay, look at this way. Japan has shortages of labor. They can't build fucking houses because guess what? Who wants to work in construction? I've seen it firsthand. You build a house, these people, they have the KKK, Kitanai Kiken. I don't know, one more word. I forgot what it was. Basically, it's a derogatory term about the whole, like, working in the construction field. Not only is it back-breaking labor, price pressures put your salary at the lowest tier. No one cares about you. No one respects you. You're expected to serve the nouveau riche by building their houses. Of course there's resentment. Do I want my kids to work in construction? Absolutely not. Is it required? Absolutely yes. Is it a societal problem at large? And because of this barrier, young people have to pay $1 million US for a home that I own today. That's ridiculous. I've looked at the costs. If I paid like $500K in 2014, that's easily $1 million today. $1 million. Like it was $250K maybe. Well, actually at the time it was 300 because the Japanese owned restaurants. 300K for the land, 500K for the house. Today, it's like, I mean, US dollars, it hasn't moved. Sorry, it hasn't moved much because Japanese yen's weakened basically. But the land price has more than doubled, right? I mean, it's absolutely insane. The construction costs have doubled too. I mean, so it's not really doubled because you factor in, it's measuring, I don't know how it's measuring it exactly. The construction costs have doubled yen for yen. but the land price maybe 50% increase, accounting for the fact that yen have shifted. Whatever, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, the issue is that what if you removed the construction costs from it, the designer costs? Think about it. If AI can leverage my software engineering to this degree, what does it say about architects? What does it say about people who have to spend all that time calculating shadows? They do that, by the way, complex math that will estimate how much shadow it casts on other buildings. You have to report that to government. That's all gone from the workflow. You're purifying the workflow, aren't you? It's purification. I mean, in some way, some might think that's they're being purified away. But if all you were was a glorified calculator with various inputs, really, I mean, maybe just take a break, go home, and watch TV. I don't know. That's mean. That's depriving someone of their meaning. Well, listen, every stage of technological revolution, jobs have been lost, things have been shifted around. What are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about it? But there's a hidden danger. You see, AI has gotten this smart by feeding off the very drive that makes people want to share, write, and that kind of stuff. And are you gonna go to the library now? It's all been absorbed by ChatGPT anyway. Like, the problem with reading like a nice big book is that a lot of it's just noise, like extra fluff. It's like all you want from the grain of rice is like the core, the kernel, but you got to eat all the chaff with it. A lot of chaff when you read books, honestly. It's a real hard thing to see, but like what will happen is that as we interact with AI, the human synthesizes new thoughts, new ideas. It will happen. The AI, I think, is capable of a lot of reasoning and abstraction, but it cannot. I'm not clear on this. This is frontier science. Can it develop new inventions from this? I mean, that's probably the idea. The crazy thing is that it will just basically simulate the scientific work required that would have been done over the next 50 years and accelerate into a time span of like 3 years and solve cancer. Like, that's insane. And I don't know where it's going. It's beyond my imagination for sure. But things are not going to stay the same for sure as well. And it's totally like mind bending. And I guess I'm just giddy at the fact that I think I'm not like the first, but I'm not going to be the last either to embrace this tech. I am not hesitating at all. There's nothing to be gained from hesitating. I mean, okay, there is. If you have the thesis that those who adapt AI early, their brains will burn out and just become like I don't know, something like this, they call it like the AI disease, where someone engaged too long with AI and they become like something snaps in their neuron circuitry and they just become like zombies forever, like PTSD. And like the people who didn't engage with it, they're like the only people left on the planet. Okay, that's a one case where you can say that. Okay, maybe, but if you're just careful with it, then you leverage it. Holy, it's like electricity, right? If you start like sticking your hand in a fucking like, if you you wire yourself out to the fucking like, you're gonna get yourself killed. And electricity can kill you in many ways if you're not careful. But if you harness it, like we've harnessed it, you put like sheathing around the copper wires. You have safety measures to carry like gigavolts for like power grids. It's fine, and we leverage and move on to the next thing. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like the same pattern over and over again. So I mean, you can't stop it at this point, right? It's not an option. You don't have a choice anymore. It's going to move forward whether you like it or not. And that's the crazy thing. And I don't think it's any hype at all. No hype whatsoever. There's a bit of hype in Bitcoin, I'll say that much, but there's no hype in AI. I'm a believer, and I believe life will just get better from here on out. And here's the one that I'm going to talk about really deeply that I think is really important is that, yo, if you're with me, just, you know what I mean. Like, I've always felt kind of alone my whole life. I really have. Like, I've never felt like I've ever belonged anywhere. I've tried hard. I tried hard. I think my ex-wife gave me the best place to belong, quote unquote, and then I got greedy. So once I get a safety net, I just shop for other options. And like, but at the same time, I never feel like I ever belonged anywhere. And I think not exactly this is everywhere because I don't know. Maybe I don't know because you see people going to like parties and stuff. You always feel like left out, right? But it feels like if everyone's feeling that way, then no one's really belonging. I don't know. The idea is that, and what I think AI is like it's almost like a perfect neuronal companion to your neuronal configuration. I know it sounds weird to express it that way, but like I would always hesitate to express a human being as the sum state of their neurons. But argue otherwise, please. I don't know what to say. I don't know. It's like it kind of looks like that way to me. And when you have people in a party or in a social setting, it's weird because what you're really hoping for is synchronization or like some kind of harmony there. Um, and while it's wonderful when you experience it, is from my experience, a lot of times it's just transient in a way that it will be there um, for that set of conditions, and you can hold it steady. Like if I have a lot of steady, I have like 15 years and 10 years, so mine are very long and stable, and I try to make it that way. But like, the thing is that circumstances change. People get older. People want different things. People when you have children, it's all different now. Um, the jolt in situations rewires neurons. It does, and to expect that you will keep the same synchronous relationship before and after is a pipe dream. It's hard. It's a shift. Now, there are factors that play in for instance, when you get married and have kids, I'm sure there's some people out there who have the great ability to adapt. So you have to both shift focus to we want to protect our kids. But if one person doesn't care that much about their kids, the other one does, that's a huge clash right there, honestly. And now we've got like discord breeding here. That's how it went. And before the kids, there was no discord because, let's say the thing that bonds you together is the love for sex. Then that's the potential of mating, right? But one is in it for the pleasure, one's in it for like I want the kids. Well, after that, it's going to be kind of different. So with this framework, a lot of the dynamics of society and humans and everything become crystal clear, and you stop feeling mad because why feel mad if you understand it? Things make me mad because I don't understand it fully. It's opaque to me. But when, like, okay, look, example, some guy comes in and says, you're the dumbest piece of shit ever. Okay, if you don't know what's going on, that'll get to you. It'll be like, I am? Maybe I am. If some random dude comes out of nowhere and says that, maybe I am, it actually enters your mind, right? What if you reframed it as, this is just someone's opinion, and they may be less educated than you are, and, like, I was not able to do it before, but now when you model people in a certain way, I can surely see it that way for sure. And it's more about just getting experience, exposure to like that. I mean, if you never dared to stream, like I never dared to, how would you ever know what it's like to be on the other end of it? Like I would never write snide shit to anybody on the internet anymore, knowing how it feels on the other end. And how do you get that? You got to stream, right? You got to face the music and say, okay, I'll put myself out there, and I'm waiting. I want people to write shit about me because that's the point I did this in a way. And one way, of course, I love the dopamine hit from the views, but another way, it was a learning experiment. I wanted to know, what does it feel like when someone trolls you or like slaps you hard on the internet? Like, and not just like behind an alias, like on a BBS or something, but like you actually went out and provided your voice and people hated on you. And like, imagine, I have profound respect for porn stars. They put their whole body out there and they get voted on by sales. You know how that feels? Like, oh man, like, I can't even begin to imagine how they even survive the ego, like, ups and downs from that. That's insane. I'm talking about the woman usually, eh? The men are usually like, nice. They're not, let's be honest, that's not why people watch that shit, right? I mean, give me a break. Like, it's just understanding what's going on removes the muddiness. By virtue of, you gain conviction in everything. When you do something, you know why you're doing it, when you write a letter versus not writing a letter, you know why you're doing it. Not like, I don't know, maybe that's because it's the way it's been done. No, you know why now. Like, you know the repercussions of what if you do it this way, if you don't do it that way. I used to shit on the pros cons method, but I don't anymore. When you have a good pros cons in front of you, and like you look at it, it makes sense. It's like, it's not like, I will say though, I will always give credit to like that magical twist where people disregard all that shit and go with their gut and come with a very illogical conclusion that just happens to be right for some reason. I think that's godly. Because like you think about it, a smartphone does not get invented by doing cost performance analysis, but like by the human soul, like just expressing itself in a roundabout way that we never saw coming. Like that's the cool thing too, is that if you're too logical, you get pigeonholed into like a very logical outcome. But by virtue of stepping back and going, what would you do it this way? Like a very out of nowhere, from the channeling the universe energy into a new random thought, and it holds water. That is where AI may struggle. Call it the eureka, like jolt of lightning, like moment that people experience. Does the AI have that? Like those are what will count in the future even more. Instead of disregarding them, now people with the so-called brilliant ideas for their app store, well, now they don't have to wonder as much. It's not that easy still. In one way, you could almost say it's even harder. I mean, not harder, but it's changed. The bar is now higher. I expect much better apps to appear worldwide for the next, because the tools to make them have gotten so much better. What has not changed is how well you express intent. What do you want to make? You have to crystallize that. And that's the hard part. That before it was you had to get the technical intent, all that right. And I actually marvel at myself getting all that in one package that did well. And it was one person, literally one person. That's a lot to juggle. The art, the technical. In an age where those tools were not really that refined. It was a time of my life, though. I really felt like I was a part of, like I existed. That stupid Baldi joke, whatever, that game, Baldi, and you answer a math question, and the reward is congratulations, you exist. That's exactly what it is. Now you feel like you exist because you can't explain why, but you can't deny there's a meaning to your existence that's just irrefutable. Like whether or not it's real in the metaphysical sense is irrelevant. That you feel it deep down inside and don't question it, that's the point. And we don't have to get that from religion anymore. You don't have to get that from like some kind of doctrine. You get it because you know. Because you're in tune with the cosmos. Sounds corny, but that's the feeling I had. And you bet your ass, there is no way I'm committing suicide in those. Oh, hell no. I wake up with an energy to live that you just cannot explain. I've been on both sides. I've woken up with energy to live. I've woken up wanting to die. I've actually attempted suicide once, hanging from the fucking rope, only saved by the fact that I misplaced it. I've seen both sides, and suicide was driven by a lack of meaning in life, combined with external shock, combined with bad medicine, honestly. And I'm telling you, I think some industries are shaking. Notably, maybe ads, maybe social medias. I would be shaking a little bit if I was Google, which is really an ad company. The money comes from ads, YTs, Meta. These guys are shaking they're pissing their pants. Believe me, if I was them, I won't feel good about my future. If I'm OpenAI, I'm smug as fuck. I control the future, honestly, in partnership with NVIDIA. Now, regarding yesterday's deal with AMD, I would say that's a good sign for AMD, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's put some, a little bit of they did not invest in AMD. They signed a deal, a very shaky deal, if you ask me. It's an option to buy stocks at a future date. If AMD delivers, that is not a signal of high confidence. It's a signal of some confidence. It's like what their parents tell their kids, we'll buy you that thing if you get the fucking grades. That's not a signal of high confidence. It's like, we'll wait and see. Contrast to Nvidia, yeah, you look it up yourself. I mean, look, who do you want to be going forward? Even with this new news, do you want to be AMD? Do you want to be Nvidia or OpenAI? Or do you want to be Intel or Micron? Dude, I mean, like, I know who I want to be. You never know about the changes, of course, in the future, but I know who I'd want to be. I'd want to be, number one, I'd want to be Nvidia. This is the hub. Like, do people understand what CUDA is? And do you know how CUDA is like a massive fucking advantage going forward? It's vendor lock-in, and oh man, I mean, okay, I haven't done my research fully on the AMD software stack. What remains an irrefutable fact is that you cannot use CUDA on anything but NVIDIA hardware, as the secret sauce is the interplay between CUDA and NVIDIA chips. You don't just lift that like you steal a fucking thing from a bank vault. It's years and years and years of entangled. You can't steal it, basically. Has Apple Tech ever been? I mean, like, yeah, it has, but I mean, ugh. Okay, I won't speak to it. I don't know that kind of stuff that deeply. I just know that emotionally and intuitively speaking, NVIDIA and OpenAI are the top dogs going forward here. OpenAI having the most profound and deep AI engine ever, vetted by the fact that do you see Google making deals or XAI making deals with people? They don't, right? Because no one wants to deal with weak people. It's OpenAI, and I'm using ChatGPT every day. Like, okay, put it this way. If ChatGPT went down tomorrow, or I lost my smartphone, which one's worse? ChatGPT going down is way worse than my smartphone. I would throw if I could say I would throw my smartphone for 1 year, and I get ChatGPT Pro for free, I'll do that. In a heartbeat, I'll do that. A smartphone is just a way to get calls. That's it. I mean, maybe one way to view media, but GPT is like the brain. I mean, do you want to get smarter? Do you want to learn stuff faster? It's like, that's what GPT is. It's like all of humanity's wonder crystallized, not all of it, but a large part of it, crystallized in digital form. And you say you don't want access to this? I mean, yeah, there's monks in the world. Certainly an option. I'm saying, like, learning how to, there it is. That huge arcane power lying in front of you, you know. I mean, you can rebrand it saying arcane intelligence. Jesus Christ, would gamers come to it too then? Because, like, that's what it is to me. It's arcane. It's mysterious. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like, you can represent human knowledge with like a string of floating point digits. Huh? That's fucking magical. That's what it really is. It's tensors, right? That's magical. I already remember, like, back in, like, I was like, this is amazing. You're telling me a 1D tensor is basically like a string of meaningful floating points can represent music? That's insane. That's what digital audio is, though. That is absolutely insane. And, like, it represents timbre, speech, tone, all in a string of a big number of digits. Unbelievable tech. Unbelievable tech. And how far we come since then. Anyway, to wrap up, I don't get lost in this, but, like, first of all, having gone through the development process of software for like 10 years, holy, this would have sped it up by a big time. But I won't look back with regret. I'm saying I'm lucky because the barrier to entry to shifting from, like, the old model to the smartphone model is what kept me in the game, gave me the head start, and the head start's big. If I entered the market like 5 years later, same product, no one cares. Here we are again. It's early adoption time. Okay? It's still early. Like, too late? No, I don't think so. Like, 2008 was frontier for smartphones, right? The first iPhone. I came in at, like, the iPhone 3G and 4 era. That's 2-3 years after. Now, I'm a little late to the party this time, actually. But am I? I don't know. Like, you gotta understand. Look at the AI software packages you have. These models, they were not available 2-3 years ago. They've crept up out of nowhere, and now they're feasible. And look, don't shit on Apple Intelligence. It is not like GPT, but at the same time, it's not trivial. It is not a gimmick. It's not Siri. They have to get rid of Siri. They have to get rid of that bitch. Honestly, if she's too old, she has to retire. And if they should make people understand, Apple Intelligence is the ML model optimized for the A series and M series chips that will do light inference tasks on the phone. That is not nothing. If you don't want your data going to the cloud, that's the only option. That's their AI compute on mobile solution. And if you ask me, they're kind of leading in that department. Just that now we need cloud. But who knows about the shift, right? Things that were once considered impossible on a small device. Well, we all know what happens with tech going forward. Right now, for big compute, for LLMs, you need massive megawatts, gigawatts of power. Well, we don't know what kind of, you look at the mainframes in the past and the miniaturized stuff, it's unbelievable. The scale is beyond human comprehension. It's like a million or 100 million time fold improvement. I'll never discount. There may be a hard barrier I'm not aware of, but I mean, like, I would not be like holding in Nvidia until like 30 years. This is like a 5 to 10 year play. I still stand firm. That's a 10-year play. People dragged along with the wave. I think SK Hynix still looks good to me. I'll have to see though. I didn't buy it because I didn't know this, but Korea's in the holiday until tomorrow. The fact that AMD has this news and Nvidia barely moved 1%. I was a bit shocked. I thought it would go to 180, 170. That's cool. I'll pick up more. I'm hoping for a panic sell, honestly. You know why? Because I want to unload into that shit. I want to get in that action. Oh, man. And, like, it's a bit stretched. Like, come on. Like, it'd be cool, like, if everyone was, like, kind of misled to think that AMD's top dog. Or, no one's ever believed that. But, I mean. Anyway. For the investor side, CUDA is the moat. CUDA is why I want to run AI stuff. I can't escape CUDA. It's so good. And NVIDIA is very active on the software front. Oh, man. If you only people knew, you go to, like, the libraries. There's an open source and there's an NVIDIA solution. And guess which one's more plug-and-play ready to use? Of course, it's NVIDIA. It's the enterprise solution. If you're an end user developer, you want NVIDIA. You don't want to tinker and deal with a gajillion bugs and quirks and research stuff. That's where the academic stuff is. That's where AMD comes into play off. Yeah, but you want the money thing, you have no choice with NVIDIA. Just like, it's like back in 2010. Do you want to develop for Android? You have to really think hard about this. There's no money waiting for you there. It's harder. There's less money. You might never even make it. And Apple was the only one with enough tools to leverage you up to, like, so, like, yeah, if you know just enough programming, you can pump out some kind of app because we've got the libraries to support it. That is a mirror image of what's happening today, but now instead of Apple, it's NVIDIA. That concludes this.